episode of Big J's Let's Talk. So let's talk some sports. And tonight we're going to revisit our conversation about AAU basketball. Earlier this week we were talking with Jeremiah Howard, and he was giving us some pros and cons about the AAU basketball circuit versus the high school organized ball circuit. And so tonight I wanted to dig a little deeper into that conversation, and I'm bringing on a guy. We served together in the military for years, very solid guy, and now outside the military, he's become a coach, and he's got his own AAU team. And so he's going to come and give us some insights on AAU ball that we weren't able to get the last time. And just go ahead and fill everything out for us. So, Derek, guy, thank you for coming, and I appreciate you so much for being here, brother.
Well, thank you for having me on, Mack. It's been a while. Like I said, we go back. God knows how long. Good friend of mine, and glad to see you doing good. Let's get right into this little topic about we got high school ball, AAU ball, and I live. We started together. We lived in Texas, so I saw a little bit of it in Texas. Saw things a little differently from the parental standpoint, from having been a player for so long. Yeah. And one of the biggest things I saw was parents getting hustled because they, coach will see little Johnny at the recreation center and promise him he can make him into the next Zion, and Johnny goes home and tells mommy, and no mom wants to tell their son no, especially when they pull it on they tell dad. And of course, we as dads, we want our sons to go off and do things, and go off and do great things, especially in the sports realm. But a lot of times these guys, your child is a dollar sign. Don't get me wrong, there are good, awesome coaches out there. There's good, solid programs out there. But for the most part, I won't say for the most part, there's a lot of snakes in the grass out there.
Yeah, this is what I was alluding to the other night when we started to have technical difficulties. The scammers out there who trying to seize an opportunity and capitalize on a young man's dream. My son, he's playing AAU ball right now, and me as a father, I'm looking at it from a student-athlete parent standpoint right now. I don't know much about the AAU league, but I do want to know for its sake, and so that I can help steer him in the right direction. So what are some things that I need to look for as far as these coaches go?
So one of the things, like you hit the nail on the head, they are student athletes. Keyword, their first being student. If the coaches literally, we don't worry about your grade. Don't get me wrong, there are coaches who are going to say that, who's not worried about your child getting in to college, then that's the wrong person, because they still have to meet NCAA requirements to get into college, play D1, D2, NAIA. There's a called NCAA or NAIA clearinghouse. They have to meet those requirements. There's certain classes they have to take, certain GPA they have to maintain. And then on top of it, they still have to get into the college. They still have to be able to get into the college. They have to get certain SAT scores, and a lot of these coaches are just, hey, let's go play. Just because you failed chemistry, so you're out for 3 to 6 weeks, we can still use you over here on AAU. That coach should be more concerned about that young man or young lady getting those grades, because at the end of the day, they're not, let's just be for real. Out of all the young men that are going to cross this stage in the next few days that play basketball, less than 1% of them are going to make it to the NBA.
Wow.
Okay, and it's 3 to 5% that even make it to play at some sort of collegiate level.
Okay, Okay, let me get this question real. Well, not a question, but pretty much a statement. FYF Sports Debate says AAU basketball as constructed today is making players worse. Even current players like RJ Hampton have admitted it simply because one-on-one highlights show. AAU basketball is a tool now, not real hoops. How you feel about that, Derek? Because I do believe that you do get some benefit out of AAU basketball, as we see with guys like, the route that LaMelo Ball came. You know, that was highlighted through AAU.
So what ends up happening with that is, a coach will go see a kid who's got talent, okay, who's really, really good, and then he'll let that kid do whatever he wants. You know, if it's time to work out, he shows up when he wants to practice. If he doesn't show up to practice, he's still starting. There's no real accountability for those players. So how can you? I've seen that. You know, like I said, I started off in Texas. I live in Oklahoma now. I see that. There's a particular point guard here in the state that he can just do whatever he wants. If a coach tries to tell him something, he just moves over to the next team. Everybody wants it. When we first moved here last summer, I literally saw him play with 16 different teams in the summer.
Wow. So do you think that translates over to like players' attitudes in the NBA now?
Not just attitudes in the NBA. That trickles all the way down to middle school, 7th grade ball. I've seen players talk crazy to coaches. Coaches can't do anything. One of the things that I saw that I liked when I was in Texas is some of the schools actually worked with AAU programs. And kids were filtered into the school, so they literally played together year round, everything that they did.
Wow.
So, and to be honest, not saying names, not putting anybody out there, but you'll see why certain programs, whether it's basketball or football, those schools win championships because those kids have been playing together since they could walk. And so they end up all the way, pretty much, some of them even end up in college together. They get recruited for everything together.
Wow. Yeah, that's my son was alluding to that the other day as well when I asked him the question, what can high schools and AAU do to come together? And that was exactly what he said to me as far as the guys who play on the basketball team for the school have AAU team. Outside of that, and they play all year round and they have that harmony, like you say. That's a great point, man. Great point. So all right, now me as a dad. Hold up, let me see. I got another question. It say college basketball has always been filled with teams collecting the best talent in the country. That is not the problem. AAU basketball is no longer about developing players. It's about image. Well, I'll say imagery is going to play a major part for the simple fact that they're trying to capitalize on these players. We know that coming out of high school, a lot of these guys are being recruited in high school and middle school because they see the dollar value in this kid, and when they get to the college level and things like that, millions are made off these kids' jerseys and things like that. So it's capitalism and it's a business.
As far as developing, number one, more than just the imagery at the AAU level, it's the egos, in my opinion. I've heard coaches, reliving their dreams. Oh, when I was your age, this is what I could do. Why aren't you doing this? This is what I did. Well, the game has evolved. I realized that when I played in the 90s, that we came up on the New York Knicks, Chicago Bulls, where you was gonna go at it and you was gonna feel it for 2 or 3 days afterwards. These people are more athletic and stronger, faster, but they don't bang. They don't. Like I said, here in Oklahoma, they don't touch it. If you you blow in somebody's direction, they're on the ground. It kills me because, you know, these players that have so much talent, they can be so much more because they're not being developed. And another thing that's going on is the trainers that come up and they're charging $25 to $50 an hour and promising, making illusions of grandeur, saying that, you're going to get a D1 scholarship for training. And
see, the unfortunate reality of LaMelo Ball playing AAU is that his fame came at the price of the other players on that team. Win or lose, the cameras were focused on him. It was not about basketball. But Big J brought up a point that a couple of those guys, besides the Ball brothers, also went off to good schools. I think he said Loyola Marymount was one of the schools, and another good university. So it wasn't just the Ball boys. People like to say that LaVar was just there focusing on his boys. Yeah, in a sense, because that's what a dad is going to do. But at the same time, those other guys didn't just get left behind. They weren't just pawns. You know, he helped those guys to get to the next level as well, and also mentored a lot of those guys outside of basketball.
See, that's one thing a lot of people don't understand. So at first, you know, I was looking at what LaVar Ball did. I was like, who is this dude? You know, why is he? And he was just honestly a dad who believed in his sons. And that's what we're, number one, when you help hold that little man, that little girl, that's one of the promises that you make. You're going to believe in everything that they do, and you're going to back it. So he didn't do anything wrong, in my opinion. You know, hindsight 2020. And then starting a team that he did, you know, if you really think about it, he marketed his kids, not just his kids, but the whole team, the players. And the way that he did it was actually genius because he got free marketing for his players, his team, and didn't pay one dime for it. He's on ESPN. Okay, what's the best thing that we as men do? We talk trash on sports. So then you add his son's into it, he's going to double, triple down any day of the week. Because I tell you right now, I have 4 sons. I tell you right now, I take them over any team LeBron got right now. Because you know what? Those are my sons. I believe in my sons. And if anybody's going to believe in my sons,